Tashkent city divided into two parts. You can see old part of the city and new part of the city. Old part of the city consists of three different parts: Ark, Shahristan and Rabat. Inside Ark was the office building and house building of city governors of the city, monetary stables, warehouses and main important things, especially administrative buildings. It was surrounded with protection wall which is made from stone and three different center and gates: Hadra, Chorsu, Eski Jova. But this fortress not survived until this moment. And outside the wall we call Shahristan, which is if you translate this word comes city center. Basically old houses in this area, trading domes, minarets, mosques, madrasa, mausoleum, caravansaray, library, hanakah buildings, etc. And from the buildings from old part of the city survived around 10+%. Basic architecture in old part of the city not survived. Some part in this area, some old houses survived. Unfortunately, most of the territory of the city we lost during reconstruction of the city, during earthquakes. It will influence for changing the old part of the city. That's why many people, when they travel to Tashkent, they have such opinion that Tashkent is totally modern city. There is no historical object. But it's not true, because age of this city around 2200 years old, and it was surrounded with protection wall with 12 number of gates. Each gate has name, easy to remember, similar to watch with 12 numbers. Every gate have road to connected to city center, and this area connected on the hill upstream area, which was visible all these gates, who is coming, who is going out from the city. And unfortunately none of the part of protection wall is not survived. But in other cities, in Bukhara, in Khiva, probably some part of the wall and territory survived more better. And from this time period 1865, we become, including Tashkent and Central Asia, slowly lost a lot of territories and become part of Russian Empire. So Russian engineers built new part of the Tashkent, which is called New City. Unofficially we can divide it into two parts: Petersburg side and Moscow side. You can see different planning system: rectangle planning like Petersburg and half radial system planning like in Moscow. And from here the roads are spread into different lines. We are right in the center nowadays. This area called Emir Temur Square. And we come back to old part of the city. Outside of the gate was territory Rabat. Basically in this area you can see garden area, apple garden, plum, apricot, grapes, etc. Basically grown different type of fruits outside the city. And this area more flat, you can see basically grown vegetables and some rice also, because main water supply system comes from this area. And inside Tashkent we have 7 canals, because this main river goes through the city, making 7 canals and come back to Chirchik river again. So Chirchik river goes until Sirdarya, Sirdarya goes until Aral lake. So now we can continue our topic in Emir Temur Square.
Okay.
Every city has its symbolic clock towers. In Tashkent we have 2 of them, both of them symmetrically to each other constructed. First one with flag, that is original, building from 1947. Mechanism of the clock was brought from Eastern Germany as a trophy after World War II. It was broken, and local clockmaker fixed the mechanism, and architect Muhammedshin decided to make project of the clock tower, and it has German mechanism. And now we continue our road to the center of Emir Temur Square, where we can see the statue of Emir Temur. So what was in this square originally? This square was just crossroad. The road which we standing, it was used just for the traffic road going through the square, and that road was going that way, and it became simple crossroad for the traffic until 1913. In 1913, they put first statue for Konstantin Petrovich von Kaufmann. For this person, a military person, he was the first general governor of all Turkestan area, which include part of Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, and Uzbekistan. These 5 countries included in one country, which is called Turkestan, and capital of this country was Tashkent. He was the first general governor. So Turkestan was exist from 1868 until 1924. After revolution, it became Turkestan for some time, Turkestan Federal Republic, and afterwards it became from 1918 it became Turkestan autonomy, and in 1924 we are divided into 5 countries, and Kazakh, Kyrgyz, Turkmen, Tajik. So in 1917 it was a revolution, as you know, February and October revolution. We put here a revolution tower, and the name of the square became Revolution Square. And later in 1919 they put hammer and sickle, symbol of Soviet time. In 1920s you can see a small statue for Lenin, and it became Lenin Square. In 1940s Stalin Square. In 1961 they demolished his statue. Instead of his name in a stone, they wrote slogan words from Communistic Party: peace, hard working, freedom, equality, brotherhood, and happiness. You can see. In 1968 in square you can see shape of Karl Marx. It's like connected, I think, with ideology.
Yeah.
Karl Marx, Engels, Lenin. And after collapse of Soviet Union in 1991, after 2 years, we put here statue for Emir Temur. And his statue you can see in 3 different cities: in Shahrisabz, in Samarkand, and in Tashkent. Interesting fact about this statue, that is the probably that is the heaviest statue in Uzbekistan, because it's fully made from bronze, weighs 65 tons. Sculpture was Ilham and Timur Jabbarov. About Emir Temur we don't stop too much, but the main things I will remind again. He was governor who create his own empire, which territory start Mediterranean, from Mediterranean Sea until Chinese Wall, part of India, part of until Siberia. And capital of this huge empire was in Samarkand. That's why golden period for Samarkand comes during his time, 14th and 15th centuries. And another thing what he did in the history, he's like a hero who released the country from the influence of Genghis Khan's dynasty. That's why he's our, with simple word, we can say like a hero. In 1930s, cultural life in Uzbekistan, in Tashkent, have been changed. People start going different places, theaters, movies, entertainment places, and appeared a demand for the construction of opera house. So they announce competition between architects. A lot of architects take part in this competition, and they choose 4 projects. Project of Petelin, Skarnikov, Friedman and Shushev. Shushev was very talented and experienced architect. Under his project made existing theater, opera and ballet theater, named after Alisher Navoy. But there are some parts are different. First difference in size. Because his original project calculated for 3,000 people, existing project become 1,400 people. It means almost 2 times decrease height, length and width. Another difference, design. It reminds me similar to Baroque style, which is repeated basically in Europe. Most of the cities have similar project. I think because of culture and religion, architects try to escape from decoration alive things like statues for human, animals. At the top of the building you can see statues. Instead of them they put 4 minarets in existing project. On the side was decorated in bas-relief, like human, animals acting. So they changed into traditional ornament with stone carving work. And at the top you can see in white line, stalactic line, also part of traditional style. Instead of round arc, they made dome-shaped arc, which gives oriental design. And that is the uniqueness of Tashkent architecture. You can see combination of European and traditional style. Interior decoration also more traditional, basically used plaster carving works, which is made by hand. And the theater usually works opens at 6 o'clock p.m. Better to buy ticket and visit inside to see the beauty. If you ask from local people, any Tashkent people who built this theater, they will respond you Japanese prisoners. The point is that after World War II, to Uzbekistan deported around 25,000 Japanese prisoners, and they have been involved for construction. They have been used as a labor, so they take part in construction of this theater building. And in Tashkent we have in Yaksaray area Japanese cemetery, and same thing happened with German soldiers. And also we have German cemetery in a separate place. And construction continued to front side. They built biggest fountain. The name of the fountain we call cotton. If you pay attention to the fountain, when it's switched on, you can see cotton shape. And in the middle you can see cotton flower, which is made from bronze. Fountain made 1947 in the same X line. And construction continued in a front side. Hotel Tashkent. In this hotel also same idea repeated, combination of different style. These blue tiles are original from outside it looks more European, and they add Iwan at the roof side with the painting decoration with beautiful columns. Now this area used for the terrace, and at the top you can see stalactite lines, which gives more oriental atmosphere for the hotel building, and it become beautiful ensemble if you see from hotel side. And on the left hand side you can see small shop with big glass, that is flower shop. This area become in 1950s 60s during Soviet time used for point for meeting for the couples. They could buy flower from flower shop and organize wedding. First boutique shop of Abdulwali Yavushev. He opened in Tashkent first boutique where presented European brand in the beginning of 20th century. Even the date is written in a building 1912. In ground floor he used to sell men's boutique, suit, ties, white t-shirt, white shirt, and first floor used for women's boutique, totally white wedding dress, and more formal dresses are sold. And slowly local people accept this culture, and nowadays most of people wearing European clothes. When I went to school in 1990, our teacher brought us to this museum where you could see all history connected with Lenin, from youth until death. But I don't want to say that the history connected with Lenin erased. No, it's not erased. Still some part of the museum devoted for his history, because we are objective about history. Whatever happened in the past, we have to be objective about historical things. So our next destination point, Monument of Courage, devoted for earthquake, 1966, 26th of April. It's written the date and time, 5:23 morning. It happened, biggest earthquake in the history of Tashkent. Epicenter of earthquake was happened right in this point, in a deepness 2,100 meter deep. Direction of earthquake was up to down, and it is repeatedly happened within 3 months. And these memorials they put after 10 years. So some photos after earthquake you can see. Basically old part of the city suffered from earthquake. Lot of ruins. 5:20, 23. The time have been stopped. And military equipment involved for the cleaning the city from rubbishes, and 300,000 people lost their houses, and people had to live in military condition. At that time spread it between people 16,000 tent houses. People had to live outside in a military condition. Next day we visited Tashkent. Leonid Ilyich Brezhnev, Sharof Rashidovich Rashidov, he offered let's move capital city into other city, but he insists we will rebuild the city. And in Tashkent you could see at that time such slogan words to grow the character or people, not to make panic. Tashkent soon will be best city in the country. Some survived houses made enforcement angles because appeared some cracks, and I will not list all the country names, all 15 republics take part in reconstruction of the city. That's why from one side of the houses you can see the names of those cities. For example, Moscow 1966, Petersburg, Leningrad 1967, Chelyabinsk, Tashkent, for Tashkent from Kyrgyzstan, from Belarus 1967. Indian government also built school building, public school in old part of the city. So after 10 years Tashkent become ready to accept guests, and afterwards they think about memorial, because everyone worked hard on restoration of Tashkent. We call this memorial monument of courage. This is very unique, very original idea. Sculpture was Ryabichev, weighs around 16 tons, bronze have been used. So this idea is not repeated in any other places. For example, man on horse, which we have seen before, it is repeated in many countries, places, but this idea is very unique. The man protecting his family, the women like throwing the harness and protecting the holding the child, protecting the family, bravery, courage. And behind the statue you can see two different parts. In the first part you can see how people are coming with their instrument, working, constructing the houses, and second side celebration, because after working hard there is a easy days. People could get a new apartment, houses, they are celebrating, planting trees, this process. Even behind of the memorial also a very beautiful stone carving works you can see. And we are now at the moment at that point. Behind this memorial you can see canal water, which is called Anhar Canal, which divides the city from old and new part. We are in new part of the city. After crossing the canal we will be in old part of the city. Now we are located in Hazrati Imam complex. That is the human name. This complex consists of 6 buildings, 2 minarets, 2 mosques, 2 mausoleums, and 2 madrasa buildings. We are now in cathedral mosque. We call it Juma Mosque. If you want to see from inside, you have to remove your shoes. And the ladies must have scarf to cover the head, and they can enter inside. Usual Friday prays are held here. This mosque was built in 2007, opened. Capacity of the mosque calculated 4,000 plus people can fit in one time, can pray. If you see from the top, you can see letter C, and you can see very beautiful columns. Total number of them 20 pieces. Each column made from sandalwood brought from India. It's made from whole tree. Consists of columns from 3 different parts: the bottom, the main body, and top. The last point we call guldasta. If you translate this word, comes bundle of flower. You can see like open bundle flower. They are connected with each other with wooden pin. protection from earthquake. Another uniqueness of construction of this mosque, it has two domes. The shape of these domes made a similar shape of Tashkent dome style. It is little bit extracted because domes also can be different shape. Some of them have lower average or stretched size, because the roof of this mosque made from a metallic frame. It doesn't have any column inside holding the dome such weight. Construction of the mosque took a very short time, almost 6 months it took to finish, and it is renovated from inside. Inside for renovation it took around 7 months, and you can see beautiful plaster carving works and painting works, and the mosque faces to Qibla, which means Mecca city side. I want to tell you also a very interesting information. Pay attention to the ground. You can see special type of brick. We call it Islamic brick or Muslims brick also. And pay attention to the lines. Most of them have 4 lines, but sometimes it can be 2 or 3 zigzag shape, pointed 0. So these shapes symbolize the signature of the master who baked this brick. It has such property, especially during hot summer. They don't become very hot. That's why, to be easy and comfortable for prayers, the yard full made from these type of bricks.